पैसा नहीं आएगा।
आएगा सबका हमरे कुछ तो कमी है बल्कि इधर आया है। बड़ा बड़ा ब्राह्मण को जाकर वो लोग फिर भी जना उनका भी कुछ नहीं करता।
प्रार्थना करो जगन्नाथ जी के पास इनको जिस आप भक्तों की प्रार्थना प्रभुपाद जी जब सुनते हैं जितने भगवान उनके लिए प्रार्थना करो। उनकी जो भी जिस चीज़ में भी आसक्ति है किसी चीज़ में आसक्ति है, सब आसक्ति खत्म हो जाएगी।
हो जाएगा धीरे धीरे हो जाएगा वन बाय स्टेप हो जाएगा वन बाय स्टेप एक एक स्टेप हो जाएगा।
श्री श्री लक्ष्मी नरसिंहदेव भगवान की। श्री नरसिम्हा जय नरसिम्हा जय जय नरसिंहा। प्रहलाद देश जय पद्मा मुख पद्म भृंगा। श्री नरसिंहा जय नरसिंहा जय जय नरसिंहा। प्रहलाद देश जय पद्मा मुख पद्म भृंगा। श्री नरसिम्हा जय नरसिम्हा जय जय नरसिंहा। प्रहलाद देश जय पद्मा मुख पद्म भृंगा। अवकर कमलवरी नखा अद्भुत सिंह दलित हिरण्यकशिपु तनुबिंग केशवधेता नरहरि रूपा। जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे। तव कर लवरी नखा तव कर कमलवरी नखा अद्भुत सिंगार दालिता हिरण्यकशिपु तानुबिंगा केशवधीता नरहरि रूपा जय जगदीश हरि जय जगदीश हरि जय जगदीश हरि तव कर कमल तव कर कमलवरे नखा अद्भुत सिंगार दालिता हिरण्यकशिपु तानुबिंगा केशवधीतो नरहरि रूप जय जगदीश हरि जय जगदीश हरि जय जगदीश हरि तव कर कमलवरे नखा जयो लक्ष्मी नरसिंह जयो लक्ष्मी नरसिंह लक्ष्मी नरसिंह जयो लक्ष्मी नरसिंह जयो लक्ष्मी नरसिंह जयो जयो नरसिंहदेव जयो नरसिंहदेव नरसिंहदेव जयो नरसिंहदेव जयो नरसिंहदेव जयो प्रहलाद महाराज जयो प्रहलाद महाराज प्रहलाद महाराज जयो प्रहलाद महाराज जयो प्रहलाद हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण हरे हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण हरे Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol श्री श्री लक्ष्मी नरसिंह देव भगवान की, प्रहलाद महाराज की, जगत गुरु श्रील प्रभुपाद की।
जय राधा पार्थ सारथी राधा पार्थ सारथी जय राधे। जय ललिता विशाखा ललिता विशाखा ललिता विशाखा जय ललिता विशाखा। जय सीताराम लक्ष्मण हनुमान सीताराम लक्ष्मण हनुमान। जय गौरानिताय 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 जय गौरानिताय। जय लक्ष्मी नरसिंह जय प्रहलाद महाराज लक्ष्मी नरसिंह जय प्रहलाद महाराज। प्रभुपाद 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 प्रभुपाद। नमो विष्णुपदाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्ति वेदांत स्वामिनिति नामिने। नमस्ते सरस्वते देवी गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यादेशतारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैता गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैता गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैता गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. बोलिए बोलिए सभी लोग बोलिए. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Bolo Bolo. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. जय प्रभुपदा 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 जय प्रभुपदा श्री प्रभुपाद की श्री गुरु चरण पद्मा केवल भक्ति सदमा श्री गुरु चरण पद्मा केवल भक्ति सदमा बंधुमुई सावधान बाते बंधुमुई सावधान मते जहर प्रसादे भाई ए भव तरिया जाई जहर प्रसादे भाई ए भव तरिया जाई कृष्ण प्राप्ति है जहाँ होते कृष्ण प्राप्ति है जहाँ होते गुरुमुख पद्मावक्य चित्ते करिया क्या गुरुमुख पद्मावक्य चित्ते करिया क्या हरणा करिह मने आशा हरणा करिह मने आशा श्री गुरु चरणे रति ऐसे उत्तम गति श्री गुरु चरणे रति ऐसे उत्तम गति जे प्रसादे पूरे सर्व आशा जे प्रसादे पूरे सर्व आशा चक्षुदान दिल जन्म जन्म प्रभु से चक्षुदान दिलो जय जन्म जन्म प्रभु से दिव्य ज्ञान हृदय प्रकाशिता दिव्य ज्ञान हृदय प्रकाशिता प्रेमा भक्ति जहाँ हईते अविद्या विनाश जाते प्रेमा भक्ति जहाँ हईते अविद्या विनाश जाते वेद गाय जहर चरिता वेद गाय जहर चरिता श्री गुरु करुणा सिंधु अधमा जनारा बंधु गुरु करुणा सिंधु अधम जनार बंधु लोकनाथ लोकेरा जीवाना शूल प्रभुपाद लोकेरा जीवाना हा हा प्रभु करो दया देह मोरे पद छाया हा हा प्रभु करो दया देह मोरे पद छाया हे बेजाज खुशुक्ति भुवाना हे बेजाज खुशुक्ति भुवाना जय प्रभु पदा प्रभु पदा प्रभु पदा जय प्रभु पदा प्रभुपाद 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 नित्य गौर हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल श्री प्रभुपाद गुरु पूजा की नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमती भक्ति वेदांत स्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वती देवी गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे विशेषा शून्यावधि पाश्चात्यादिशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम हरे राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे सब लोग आइए हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Radhe, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Prabhupada. हरे कृष्णा। तो अभी श्रीमद् भागवतम क्लास जो है वहाँ पर होने वाला ऑडिटोरियम में, तो इसके कीर्तन के बाद सबको ऑडिटोरियम जाना। श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु दया करो मोरे, तुम बिना के दयालु जगत संसारे। तुम बिना के दयालु पतित पावन हेतु तव अवतार। मुसमा पतिता प्रभु न पाई बेयारा। हा प्रभु नित्यानंद प्रेमानंद सुखी। कृपावलोकन करो आमी बड़ दुखी। दया करो सीतापति अद्वैता गोसाई। तब कृपा बोले पाई चैतन्य निताय। स्वरूप सनातन रूप रघुनाथ। भट्ट जुगा श्री जीव प्रभु लोकनाथ। दया करो श्री आचार्य प्रभु श्रीनिवास। रामचंद्र संगा मांगे नरोत्तम दास। श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु दया करो मोरे। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna.
Include his annual Festival of India tour in Poland that introduces Krishna consciousness through highly professional and innovative cultural performances including dance, drama, music, puppet show and prasadam served to over 5,000 people every single day for 2 months. So this year will mark the 34th year of the tour. Hari Bol. His annual US-based Sadhu Sangha Kirtan retreat, which attracts around 3,000 attendees each year, this year marks the 11th year of the festival. his Kartik Parikrama program, which draws over 500 devotees each year for a profound experience of immersion in Kirtan and Krishna Katha in Sri Vrindavan Dham for the entire month of Kartik. This year will mark the 11th Kartik Parikrama program. So his month-long Rishikesh Kirtan Fest, a Kirtan and spiritual culture event dedicated to introducing Bhakti Yoga to thousands of yoga practitioners. This year inaugurates the third year of the festival. Indradyumna Swami Maharaj generously shares his realization and invaluable treasures he discovers in his travels in his well-loved book series Diary of a Traveling Monk, and through his extensive photography and Facebook posts that engage and dedicated audience of over 65,000 followers. Hari Bol! 3 years ago, to expand his preaching, Indradyumna Swami Maharaj began engaging an online audience through a weekly YouTube lecture series focused on Sri Vrindavan Dham and based on his research at the Vrindavan Research Institute. This lecture series laid the foundation for his new and ongoing book series, the first of which is entitled The Sacred Forest of Vrindavan, Western Bank of the Yamuna. This latest installment explores the hidden gems of Vrindavan, its sacred sites and personalities, and the pastimes of divine couple and Akadaya. Even close to his heart, Sri Vrindavan Dham is the sacred place Indradyumna Swami calls home. Hari Bol! So we all are so fortunate that Maharaj has come over here to give his blessings. So please, maybe if you could keep your phones on silent mode and please hear to Maharaj class. And we welcome Maharaj by loudly saying, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. His Holiness Indradyumna Swami Maharaj ki.
Camera a little bit like because it's blocking everything. Janaranjana Yasodanandana Ayo Raja Janaranjana Munachira Panachani Ayo Kunjabi Kunja Bihari Munachira Manashani Jayo Kunja Kunja Bihari Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Bihari Gopi Jana Vallabha Jaya Girivara Dhari Jai Girivara Dhari Gopi Jana Vallabha Jaya Girivara Dhari Jai Girivara Dhari Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Oh Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Oh Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hey! Lord Prem. Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Rama, Hare Hare. Go pray. Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Rama, Kirtan. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare. Lord, pray.
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Rama Ram, Hare Hare. Gaur Prem, Nitai. Hai Gauri Bo, Hari Bo.
Can you find the verse for me?
Yes. Sure, the verse is here already.
Okay. Okay.
Не, ничего не надо.
Good morning, everyone. Nice to see a full house here in this beautiful temple, and especially nice all the saffron over here. It's a unique feature. You don't get to see it so often, so thank you, boys. Hare Krishna. This morning I've been asked to give Srimad Bhagavatam class from 6th canto, chapter 16, text 35. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Kartamashi, could I have the book? Because there's no purport here. I have a bit of a cold, so I'm going to kind of briefly go through the Sanskrit myself, and then, if you'll forgive me, in the translation. I've been in South India for 1 month, and I just arrived in the cold north. I got a cold, so. Tava bhivava kalo bhagavan jagad udhaya shtiti laya dini vishva shrijaste samashash tatra mrisha shbardhanti pritag abhimatya. Translation and commentary by His Divine Grace, Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki. My dear Lord, this cosmic manifestation and its creation, maintenance and annihilation are all but your opulences. Since Lord Brahma and the other creators are nothing but small portions of a portion of you, their partial power to create does not make them God, Ishvara. Their consciousness of themselves as separate lords is therefore merely false prestige. It is not valid. Purport. A devotee who has fully surrendered to the lotus feet of the Lord knows very well that the creative energy of the living entities, from Lord Brahma down to the small ant, exists because the living entities are part and parcel of the Lord. In Bhagavad Gita 15:7, the Lord says, Mama vaimsho jiva loke jiva bhuta shanatana. The living entities in this conditioned world are my eternal fragmental parts. The living entities are nothing but very small portions of the Supreme Spirit, like sparks of a fire. Because they are part of the Supreme, they have a creative quality in a very minute quantity. The so-called scientists of the modern materialistic world are proud because they have created modern facilities like great airplanes. But the credit for creating the airplane should go to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, not to the scientists who have invented or created the so-called wonderful products. The first consideration is the intelligence of the scientists. One must be elevated by the dictation of the Supreme Lord, who says in Bhagavad Gita, Matta shmitir gyanam apohanam cha. From me come remembrance, knowledge, and forgetfulness. Because the Supreme Lord as Supersoul sits within the core of every living entity's heart, the dictation by which one advances in scientific knowledge or creative faculties comes from Him. Furthermore, the ingredients to manufacture wonderful machines like airplanes are also supplied by the Lord, not by the scientists. Before the airplane was created, its ingredients already existed, having been caused by the Supreme Personality of Godhead. But when the manifested creation of the airplane is ruined, the remaining debris is a problem for the so-called creators. Another example is that the West is creating many automobiles. The ingredients for these cars are supplied, of course, by the Supreme Lord, and the intelligence for the so-called creation is also supplied by the Lord. Ultimately, when the cars are demolished, the so-called creators are faced with the problem of what to do with their ingredients. The actual creator, the original creator, is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Only in the interim does someone create something with intelligence supplied by the Lord, and later the creation again becomes a problem. Therefore, the so-called creator is not to be credited with the act of creation. The only credit goes to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. It is rightly stated herein that the credit for all the opulences of creation, maintenance, and annihilation belongs to the Supreme Lord and not to the living entities. Translation again. My dear Lord, this cosmic manifestation and its creation, maintenance, and annihilation are all but your opulences. Since Lord Brahma and the other creators are nothing but small portions of a portion of you, their partial power to create does not make them God, Ishvara. Their consciousness of themselves as separate lords is therefore merely false prestige. It is not valid. Omagyan timidandasya gyanan gada shalakaya chaksuni militam jena tasmai si gurave namaha Sri Chaitanya mano bishtam shtapitam jena bhutale swayam rupa kadam ayam dadanti sva badanti kam Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Hare This is one of those scientific verses. And whenever I have to speak on such verses or hear someone speak on this scientific presentation, I always remember my dear godbrother Satyaputa Prabhu. Unfortunately, I believe most of you never had the opportunity to meet him, but he left behind a veritable treasure of scientific data, transcendental scientific data, defeating the atheist, defeating the scientist, and going very deep into exploring the world around us, ultimately with the conclusion that there's a supreme creator. He was a genius, actually, a veritable genius, and he passed away, unfortunately, some years ago. I believe Srila Prabhupada had a service for him elsewhere, always, because our service to Guru and Gauranga is eternal. But we do miss him, and I did want to mention him here. If you have the opportunity to hear his lectures, they're online, and of course he's written many books. And Prabhupada was very proud of the Bhaktivedanta Institute, the BI, the scientific approach to Krishna consciousness. So he was very proud of Satyaputa Prabhu. And Bhakti Swarup Damodar Goswami, we have our Druta Karma, we have our scientists, and they should be noted. And they should be praised because it's very important. Prabhupada came to the West to defeat voidism and impersonalism. That's his prana mantra. He wrote that prana mantra for himself because in the very beginning of the movement, devotees asked for a prana mantra. And that prana mantra was written by Prabhupada, and his mission was to come to the West and to begin by defeating voidism and impersonalism, no concept of a personality of Godhead. One of his foremost missions, and they were great leaders, and there still are great leaders in ISKCON representing this effort to destroy atheism, impersonalism, and voidism, and establish as the absolute reality that behind anything and everything is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And that personality of Godhead is Sri Krishna, a cowherd boy, wrestling with his friends in the sands of Ramanredi and dancing in the moonlight in the autumn night in Braj with his milkmaids and giving great pleasure as Lala to Nanda and Yashoda. But he's behind it all. He doesn't directly participate within the functions of this material world, but he has his ministers, just like a Narendra Modi, our Prime Minister. He has his ministers in different departments of his rule here. So in the same way, the Lord is ever enjoying in the spiritual world, and the affairs of this world are carried on by the devatas. But ultimately, he's behind it all. This verse is very clear, that Krishna alone is the source of creation. He himself alludes to that in Bhagavad Gita. Not alludes to it. He says very clearly, Aham sarvasya pavavo matta sarvam pavartate. I am the source of all that is material and all that is spiritual. And as far as creation, he actually uses the word creation in the Bhagavad Gita. In the beginning of creation, he says, I sent forth generations of men and demigods and blessed them by the performance of sacrifice. All desirable things will be bestowed upon you. In other words, recognizing that all of this has come by the mercy of the Lord, you say thank you. Yagya Vai Vishnu means we're thanking Vishnu. We're recognizing that everything we are using, all the material elements and combining them in different ways, hasn't come about by chance. It's come by the hand of the Supreme Lord. So Yagya Vai Vishnu. We perform sacrifice. Sacrifice is a way of saying thank you. If you don't say thank you for someone who gives you a gift, it's just etiquette. My mother used, when I would get presents as a boy, you just take it as a boy. My mother slapped me. Say thank you, boy. Why? Say thank you. Why? You're not going to get any more candy. Thank you. So in the same way, everything we have is a gift of the Lord. Everything's a gift. So Yagya Vai Vishnu. And in this age, what is the way of saying thank you? Krishna Varnam Twisha Krishnam Shango Pangashiparshadam Yagnai Sankirtan Prayar Yashintihi Shumeda Shahag. The Supreme Lord who appeared in Dwapara Yuga, bluish black like a monsoon cloud, has now appeared in the age of Kali as the golden avatar. In the mood of a devotee, he can be recognized by the fact that he's surrounded by his associates and they're all singing his own sweet holy names. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama. So this is the yagya for this age. It entails many things. By chanting Chaitodarpana Marjanam, our hearts become purified. By chanting, the material desires which keep us bound to material existence are uprooted and thrown to a distant place. Ultimately, by chanting, we get prem. We get love for the divine couple. But it's also a way of saying thank you. It's the yagi. It's the yuga dharma. Every age has a specific dharma according to time, place, and circumstance. And in Kali Yuga, there's a concession. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama. So this puts to rest this ever ongoing debate between atheists and theists as to the cause of this planet, as to the cause of this world, as to the cause of this universe. It all comes from that cowherd boy. One time, one of my god sisters, she said to Srila Prabhupada, at the very beginning of the movement, she said, Srila Prabhupada, you describe, God, the Almighty, because in the West we conceive of God, Aishwarya Bhav, the Almighty, the Lord, which He is. You describe God as a little boy, and he's blue, and his eyes go to his ears, and his nose is like sesame flour, and his lips are, what is it called, Prabhupada? A bimba fruit red? And he has a eternal garland that never fades. Vaijayanti, 5 flowers, goes down to his ankles. And he's 5 and he plays the flute. And he wrestles with his friends in the sand. And he dances with girls at midnight. Srila Prabhupada, is it really all true? Is it really true? So Prabhupada just closed his eyes and then he opened them. He said, my dear spiritual daughter, do you think I would ever cheat you? She blushed and she said, no, Prabhupada. One who has faith in the spiritual master and the Vedic literatures, the full purport of all knowledge is revealed to that devotee. Guru Nishta. I asked Tamal Krishna Goswami one time, many years ago, I said, Goswami Maharaj, what's the most important quality to look for in a disciple? Because I was about to start initiating, so I was all new to it. What do I look for if a prospective candidate comes forward? What is the most important quality to look for in a prospective candidate? He immediately said, Guru Nishta. Faith in the spiritual master. Everything comes from that. When Prabhupada was going to America on the Jaladuta, and he came off the ship and he began his mission and it was successful, he said, my mission was successful. I had no material belongings, but my mission was successful because of two things. I had faith in the instructions of my spiritual master, and I had faith in the chanting of Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. So this young girl, she became a very I won't mention her name. She's a god sister, very elevated god sister, still preaching, and but in her infancy of her spiritual life. Is it true? God's blue? Like, why blue? Well, he's also green. Jai Sri Ram! Jai Sri Ram! Jai Sri Ram! Krishna's the master of all mystic powers. So, what to speak when the scientists hear that our explanation, the source of all that be, Ham Sarvasya Pavavo Mata Sarvam Pavar, said, hey, he's the source of all that's material, all that's spiritual. Well, who is he? Little boy plays a flute, sucks the breast of his mother for breakfast, and then, what? They find our explanation bewildering. I mean, it's understandable. We have the Shraddha because we have Prabhupada. He's the source of our knowledge. I was explaining to a scientist one time on the plane, he was a very intelligent person, and I started getting into detail, how Mahavishnu lies down on the causal ocean, and from the pores of his skin are coming unlimited universes, and I looked at him, he went, who's Mahavishnu, and universes are coming from the pores of someone's skin? I said, okay, I'll make it more simple. I went into too much detail. When you preach, it's time, place, and circumstance. I should have been a little bit more careful. But their explanations are not any less amazing. I mean, I'm not a scientist, but I read a little bit of Satiputta because he's my worshipable God brother. And there's something like they say that all matter was originally condensed in an infinitesimal point. This is about as far as they can go. Everything, because they don't believe in spiritual, so forget that and talking with them in the beginning. You have to talk on their terms, Everything was compact in an infinitesimal point, which at some point, boom! I'm simplifying it. If there's any scientists that say, what's this guy talking about? But this is the basic premise. That infinitesimal point expanded, or you could say it exploded to become the world we see around us. Of course, we love to debate with these people, with the non-devotees, to convince them about the absolute truth, being that little cowherd boy in Goloka. Our first response is, where did the infinitesimal point come from? They don't have an answer. It all started with a little point. Okay, where did the point come from? We'll figure it out later. And secondly, many of you know because you're preachers and these things are discussed in public. There's that theory that, how does order come from chaos? It's called intelligent design. If it exploded, then how come there's so much order in the world around us? I was in the military and I saw grenades go off. I say RPG, boom! I saw the destruction that they made. Or everyone's seen the original, photos of the first atomic bomb. It just destroyed Hiroshima, Nagasaki. So if something explodes, where's the symmetry? Where's everything becomes, it just falls down everywhere. But if you look at the universe, from the atom up to the universe, it's like very intelligently designed. We have the atom. If you go into the atom's like a little universe, isn't it? You look inside the atom, it has the nucleus and I don't know what they're called, the quarks. But it's all very organized. It's like a small universe. And if you look at the universe that we live in, there's the sun, and there's the planets going around for a godzillion amount of years, and they're not colliding, and they're going around and around and around. It seems there's quite some order to the universe. In fact, there's the science of astrology. You could say subtle science, by which studying the nature of the planets and the way they move within the universe, and according to, at the time of one's birth, you can determine that person's future. It's quite mystical, actually. Astrology is a bona fide Vedic science. Even our Srila Prabhupada, when he was born, Gaur Mohan Dey and his Rajani, his mother, they called in an astrologer, and he made some pretty accurate predictions about Srila Prabhupada. He said that this boy will become one of the most wealthiest persons in India. Well, hold on. And he will open 108 temples around the planet Earth. So I was sore that Gaur Mohan Dey went like, this little baby, like, really? Yeah, we're here in Calcutta, we're ruled by the British, and there's just beginning to have motor cars and telephones, and there was no TVs, there was no internet. He like 108 temples. Who crosses the border over the borders of sadhu is encouraged not to cross the border of India, because everything becomes darker and darker. Ignorance. So you have the light, and the further you go from the light, the darker it becomes. So India's Bharat. Bharat means the land of light. Not a subtropical nation, but the light of transcendental knowledge. So Gaur Mohan Dey, he was like, whoa. And it happened. The astrologer could see configuration of the planets at the time of birth. One time I heard Prabhupada say in Geneva, this whole material creation is mystical. They try to break it down into hard, cold facts, mechanical facts. It happened like this. It's actually mystical. How it's all going on. So, yes, just this intelligent design. They have a hard time with that. If it was an explosion, it would be chaos. We're the ones who make the chaos out of it all by our lust, anger, and greed to enjoy it. But it has a natural flow to it, this universe, because of intelligent design. Like, for example, I remember Sadhaputta gave one class, and he gave a very easy analogy. He would speak on very high levels. Most of the class was way over my head. Just read Ainanda. Yes, he's understand. Hirananda Maharaj is understanding. Druta Karma. Yeah, it makes. Yeah. I was like, I got lost in the first sentence, but I remember him saying one thing. he said that Sir Isaac Newton, that great scientist, Sir Isaac Newton, he was a theist. He wasn't an atheist. He believed in intelligent design. He agreed that there was a person who created it, maintained it, and ultimately annihilated it. He had this understanding. So he was with a group of, scientists at that time, and they were discussing, all the mechanistic laws of nature. It's all happening by chance and this and that, and there's no person behind it. And so Sir Isaac Newton, he went home, and over a few months, he created like a diorama of the universe with the sun, and it was a little crude according to modern terms, but it was quite. I saw someone drew a picture of it. There's the sun and then the planets. Somehow he had them going around like this, and it was quite an amazing structure of the universe. So one time he called one of the Nirvishesha Shunyavadi scientists over to see it, and the scientist said, "Wow, that's amazing! Who made that?" And Sir Isaac Newton said, "Nobody made it. It just happened by chance." No, come on, look at it. Somebody look at it. It's so intricate and it's going. Somebody must have made it. No, just some random chance that just the elements just come. He said, "You're insulting my intelligence." So Sir Isaac Newton said, "You're insulting my intelligence when you say the real universe that we live in, it was just a model come about by chance. There must be an intelligent person behind it." So his friend said, "You're right." Yeah, don't applaud me. Applaud Sir Isaac Newton. And Sariputta. But I was thinking this morning, because I was taking some notes, I haven't given a class on creation since 1973. The last 5 years I've just been in Vrindavan studying Braj. Because Dukkalayama Shasvatam. After all, what is it? This amazing phenomena of material nature, how it's working. Krishna says, Dukkalayama Shasvatam. It's a temporary place full of suffering. The reason Sariputta studied it was to show everyone there's a creator. So who's the creator? That's our real interest. We have some interest. It's fascinating. Prabhupada you see in the back of one of the original Krishna books, Prabhupada's holding a champak flower. And he's looking at it and he's smiling. I don't know if they still have that photo, but Prabhupada's holding a flower, a champak flower. He's looking at it. He's smiling. But what he's saying is, this flower is the color of Lord Chaitanya. So when we see the material nature, we see it through the eyes of the 10th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, where it's described the opulences of the Absolute. We can see the hand of God within nature by these amazing opulences, and the opulences are coming from Krishna. So quite frankly, I was thinking this morning, more important than how this creation came about is why. That's more important. Not just how did it all happen, but okay, so why was it created? The scientists are simply interested in understanding how the material nature is working, but they're ignorant of its purpose. It's like a person who's given a computer and spends all day studying the mechanics. He gets a computer, right, at work, gets a new job, right? A new job. IT. It's all about computers. So you join and you get a computer, and you have to do your work, but you just start taking it apart. Can you imagine if you're the boss and you give a computer to one of your employees and you come 2 hours later, it's like all disassembled. The keyboard's over here and the chips are there, and it's, what are you doing? That computer has been given to you for a purpose. Many of you are, the brahmachari, perhaps not, but many young men here studying information technology, you'll be working with computers. So what's more important? How the computer is functioning? There's some importance to that. Or using it for the purpose of your work. So the scientists are like that. They study the details of the material world, but they don't have a clue what it's here for. We know from Shastra that the material world, it's kind of a sad story, but anyway, we'll end on a high note. The material world is created for what? For the living entities who want to enjoy separately from the Lord. That's what it's all about. Wow, study the material world, go into the atom, go explore the space. Hey, it's the same thing. Birth, disease, old age, and death, sir. Beyond the quarks and the neutrons and the atoms and the planets. It's dukkhalayam shashvatam. It's a temporary place full of suffering. It's a creation for the few rebellious souls who left the kingdom of God. Bahirmukh. Jagadananda Pandit in his Prema Vivarta, I mentioned this in the class last night. He uses the word Bahirmukh. Mukha means like face, and Bahir means to turn your face. So if you're speaking to someone and that person goes, "Hua! Hey, I'm speaking to you. Ha! All right, go home." My mother used to I talk about my mom today, I don't know why. My mother she'd be chastising me, and I'm like, "Son, I'm looking at you. You look at me when I'm talking. All right, go to your room." I remember so many times. Anyway, thanks, Mom. We need a little, spare the rod, spoil the child. So this world that we live in, it's for people who have turned their face of God. That's more important than just how it works. It's been compared to a prison, isn't it? Prabhupada compares the material world to a prison sometimes. But the kind of prison you can never escape from. Like, you imagine the walls, so what are the walls which keep us bound to material existence? Birth, disease, old age, and death. Maximum security! They have maximum security prisons. And sometimes somebody can crack that prison and he can get out. You know, there's a famous drug dealer from Mexico, I think, or South America. They put him in a maximum security prison. They thought he could never get out. But his friends dug a tunnel underneath where the shower was, the shower stall. So one day he just took off the little shower thing and he went down out of it and he disappeared. Maximum security. But this maximum security prison, you cannot get out without the prison warden letting you get out. And who's the prison warden? Durga Ma. And when she sees that you're a prisoner who's reformed, she removes the door of illusion. And you can exit this prison and go back home, back to Godhead if you're a devotee. Durga Ma is simply an expansion of Yogamaya in the spiritual world, Purnamasi. We know Purnamasi is so powerful, she bewilders all the residents of Vrindavan to think Krishna is just a cute little lala. So that mood of Aishwarya above is not there and they can have a more intimate relationship with him. So she's very powerful. Her expansion's Durga, so she has many tricks up her sleeve to keep us attached to this world. But it is a prison house. And that's why this world doesn't compare in any way, shape, or form to the superiority of the real world. Parastasmatu bhavanyo vyakto vyaktat shanatana. This world is created, boom, destroyed. Created, boom, destroyed. That world, parastasmatu bhavanyo vyakto vyaktat shanatana. It's eternal. It's not created and then unmanifest and created. No, it's eternal. And it's also full of knowledge and bliss. So what does this world compare to that world? Just like prisons here, the government makes them, purposefully the government makes a prison very austere. So you get there and you say, I want out of here. You think the prisoners want to be in the prison? No, it's so bad, they say, okay, I'll be good, just let me out. And many times when they get out, they're reformed. Prisons are more for reforming, not just punishing. They are for punishing, but, people make mistakes, they commit crimes, they're not hard criminals. They're for reformation. So this prison house of material world is for reformation. Krishna doesn't he's not sadistic, Krishna. Punish, 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 punish. Punishment is necessary. Spare the rod, spoil the child. So there's a lesson to be learned from this austere place that we live in. It's made that way to be very, very austere. But in the spiritual world, Krishna gives a little hint to like a tidbit, like an hors d'oeuvre. Hey guys, if you want to come home, you know what? There's no need for sunlight, moonlight, or electricity. What, really? Yep. Everything's self-effulgent. Oh, that's better than this place. I have a hard time paying my electric bill. And I have to work so hard to get the basic necessities of life. Chintamani pakara saramasu kalpa viksha lakshar viteshu shudabir abhipalayantam. There's kalpa viksha trees in the spiritual world. It's called a desire tree. You go to Vrindavan and you go to a desire tree. You say, sir, I don't have enough items for my puja today. Can you give me some flowers? Can you give me apple, orange, banana? Usually the trees in this world, you get one fruit. The Kalpa-vriksha trees, they can give any fruit. And you can say, I lost the golden plate. Please give me a golden plate. It's not for me. It's not about me, Krishna. It's all about you. This is our philosophy in a nutshell. This is bhakti in modern terminology. It's not about me. It's all about you. And I know if you're happy, because I'm your part and parcel, I'll be happy. But don't worry about me, Krishna. Just be happy with this offering. This is bhakti. So the Kalpa-vriksha trees are not there to serve our material needs. They're there to serve our spiritual desires, which are unlimited. There's so many ways you can please Krishna. It'll all be revealed to you in due course of time. So many ways you can please your Ishtadev, your Lord, and the Kalpa-vriksha trees are there. The trees in this world, what are they? They're lusty fellows. If someone is too lusty, if one likes to show off their body, a male body or a female body, like people like to dress today, it's an extension of lusty desire. If you're very lusty, you have to show off your body. Prabhupada said, you're born as a tree. Hey, trees don't wear jeans or clothes. They're stark naked. Hi, everybody. There's a lot of stark naked people around you, so what's the big deal? But in the spiritual world, the trees are something extraordinary. In fact, that person who introduced Braj Bhakti, just a little bit, like again, the word hors d'oeuvre before the main meal was, before Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came to introduce the highest understanding of love of God, the love of the Brajabasis for Krishna, Madhavinda Puri appeared a little bit before him and started preaching the philosophy of Braj Bhakti. Beyond Aishvarya Bhav, Sir, yes, sir. Beyond the official kingdom of God, Vaikuntha, is that planet, Goloka, the planet of cows, where Krishna enjoys loving relationships with his pure devotees. That concept was introduced by Madhavinda Puri. The conjugal love, it's a deep subject matter, but Madhurya Bhav, he discussed like that. But who is Madhavinda Puri? Madhavinda Puri is described in our Shastras as a Kalpa-vriksha tree at Nidhivan. Nidhivan is one of the places where Radha and Krishna have their loving pastimes. So he's a witness. He's standing there as a spiritual, divine, fully realized, pure devotee of the Lord in the form of a tree, because the variety is the spice of life. That's absolutely true in the spiritual world. There's cows, there's trees, there's butterflies. They're all great saints. because Krishna likes different loving relationships. Like you have mom and dad, brother, sister, uncle, aunt, grandfather, friends. That all makes up your love life, so-called love life in this world. So in the spiritual world, there's varieties of living entities. And one of them is a tree. Madhavinda Puri, that great saint, he's a tree in Nidhivan, witnessing the activities of Radha and Krishna. So you compare that to the material world, it's a prison house. You go to a prison, I've been in a prison many times. Don't misunderstand me, not because I did, because I was a devotee distributing books on the streets of Paris and Frankfurt and London. And I was arrested so many times. I've got a long list. See, if I get a traffic stop in America, they call me out of the car. They put me in the, I go a little. The speed limit is 65. I'm going 70. They pull me over. Sir, can I see your driver's license? Yes, sir. What did I do? You were going too fast. I'm really sorry, officer. He says, okay, let me check your license. He comes back. Get in the police car. We have to have a talk here. I get this long list of arrests in France and Germany, and I was in jail for 1 month in Spain for doing a Namahata program. This was during the time of Franco, the dictatorship. The police bust in, they beat us up, they took us to the jail, they ripped up our passports, took all our clothes except our Brahman underwear. There were 10 of us in a cell made for 3 people. 1 month, we could bathe once a week, toilet once a day. If we chanted too loud, they'd throw hot water on us. It was ecstasy. We had some really good Bhagavatam classes, long Bhagavatam classes. They lasted 10 hours, more than Radhanath Swami. You can be happy anywhere if you're chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna. So I've got a long record. The police always say, you were arrested in Paris 16 times? Are you a criminal? I said, my only crime is love of God, sir. In a world where people are trying to forget God, I have to go the whole thing, and I end up selling a Bhagavad Gita to the policeman before I can go back in my car. So, yeah, just look at this world. It has its beautiful things as well. But it's austere, it's limited, there's constrictions. It can't be a place of enjoyment. Actually, there's no question of enjoying anywhere within these 14 worlds separate from Krishna. Krishna lets us try. He'll give us, a short sentence in the material world. All right, go. If you want to go. I heard a class recently, Prabhupada said, when we fall from grace, we fall from our spiritual status, that the Lord accompanies us, Prabhupada said, for some distance. As we're falling from the spiritual sky, Krishna accompanies us, Prabhupada, and he's trying to convince us, don't go to the material world. Now I'm going. Prabhupada said, Krishna said, don't go, please stay with me in Braj. I'm going. Please don't go. I'm going. Delhi. I had to start driving here at 3 o'clock in the morning because the traffic's so bad, even on Sunday. But Krishna gives us a chance. Just like Prabhupada said, sometimes the child, the 2 or 3 year old child, there's the candle. And to a child, that's something fascinating, a glowing candle. So, no, Mommy says, don't touch. No, don't touch. Mommy. All right, touch. Ow! So that child will never touch the candle again. Once burnt, twice shy. So Krishna, what kind of God allows us to come to the prison house of material? Because we're obstinate. We have our independence. Very few souls leave the spiritual world, but those who do, and we come in touch with material nature. Ouch! But it's not just one time. Brahmanda Brahmati Konya Bhagavan Jeev Guru Krishna Prasad Bhai Bhakti. How many universes have we gone through? How many species of life have we? How many bodies? Okay, I got it. Just like, we want to imitate Krishna. Like there's that classic line, big fish, little fish. We used to do a play like that in the 70s, the Sunday feast, I want to be the big fish. I don't want to be the little fish. So Prabhupada gave an analogy, he said like, Mommy, I want to cook. Mommy, I want to cook. But cooking's dangerous for a little girl. There's the fire, the pan's very big. So Mommy says, okay, go outside and make a mud pie. The little girl goes out and she pours some water and she makes some mud and she thinks she's enjoying. She thinks she's cooking. That's not cooking. So we come to live separately from Krishna. We think it's enjoyment. It's not enjoyment. How many ways can your hand enjoy? How many ways can your hand suffer? Your hand enjoys basically when you take prasadam, or when you eat. Eating is one of the great pleasures of life, right? But okay, but how many ways can your hand suffer? You can bang your hand, you can burn your hand, they can pull out your fingernails, you can get hit by a lightning, they can take your skin, you can get it. There's so many ways the hand can enjoy, but very few ways the hand can, there are many ways the hand can suffer, but very few ways the hand can enjoy. It's the same with everything in life. Struggle for existence, the human race. The only hope is divine grace. That's in a nutshell. Elegance is truth spoken concisely, not a long-winded lecture. This is a long-winded lecture. Not a long-winded lecture. Just come to the point. Elegance is truth spoken concisely. Kaviraj Goswami, Chaitanya Charitamrita. Struggle for existence. Prabhupada wrote in his Vyasa Puja poem to Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur. Struggle for existence, the human race. Does he mention any happiness? The only happiness we get is a little bit, a momentary relief from our pain. Bang, 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 bang. Oh, my hand's happy now. What's the happiness? The happiness is a momentary relief from all the anxiety. How do they do it? They take intoxication. They take drugs. They engage in some karmic activity, some temporary relief. But the result of that, the next morning they wake up with a bigger headache than they had. The only natural way to be happy is to connect to the reservoir of all pleasure. Shri Krishna, who's very kindly present, Nama Chintamani Krishna's Chaitanya Rasa Vigraha, in the sound of his name, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna.
Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare.
So the suffering, okay, but it's Krishna. But what's the result? O best of the Bharatas, 4 kinds of pious men begin to render devotional service unto me. The distressed, the desire of wealth, the inquisitive, and he who is looking for knowledge. That's such an important verse. That's our birth. Human life is not determined by when you come out of the womb. Human life is determined when you begin to question, who am I? Where have I come from? What happens at death? Does God exist? Because you've got this buddhi, this intelligence. God has given you this intelligence for that purpose. Yes, to live in this world in a sensible way. You can use your intelligence, have career, work, family, etc. But ultimately, it's for this purpose. Like, what am I doing in this prison house? Is there an alternative? So if you start that, if you inquired yesterday, according to Guru Shastra and Sadhu, you're 1 day old. Human life begins at that moment we start questioning. So that's a very important verse. 4 kinds of persons begin to render service to the Lord. And Prabhupada said, out of those 4, most people come to Krishna out of distress because of the material energy. Durga Ma. Another name of Durga is Rudrani. It means she who makes you cry forever. They worship, we have Durga Puja. You're worshiping she who makes you cry forever. But why cry? So you wake up. Is it all suffering, or is there something else? That's the purpose of the material creation. Go tell that to the scientists. The purpose of the material creation is to make you one day look to the sky like Rupa Goswami in his Padyavali. My dear Lord, I'm drowning in this fathomless whirlpool of material existence. Oh, you who give shelter to the shelterless, please, just this one time, Krishna, won't you extend your hand to save me? That's the purpose of this material world, to revive our Krishna consciousness. And it happens. Sometimes even to the atheists, it's very quick. I remember when I was a young boy, the Russians put up a Sputnik. Remember? Sputnik. They call that's an old satellite. A Sputnik was going around the Earth. And they asked the astronaut from down in, I think it was Omsk or St. Petersburg. They had the scientists, and they said, "Comrade, you're in outer space. Do you see God?" That's taking advantage of the moment. "You're in outer space. Do you see God?" He sent a message back to Earth. "Comrades, there's no God out here." And all of a sudden, the Sputnik started to fail. Something went wrong. And this is history. It started plummeting to the Earth. And the last words of that Russian cosmonaut were, "Oh my God!" So material nature, Durga, she very kindly helps us wake up. Like we had a saying in the army, there's no atheists in the foxholes. There's no atheists. Because when you're getting attacked, "Oh my God, please save me. Jesus, Muhammad, Al-Akbar, Alhamdulillah. Jesus, Krishna, Yahweh, Buddha, Nrsimhadev." But it doesn't mean that God's, through his agency of Durga, is unkind. It's the purpose of the creation. So little punishment is required to come to our senses. And through it all, during this whole sojourn through material existence, we're not alone. Krishna comes once in a day of Brahma to remind us. He comes here. He comes to this nasty place. Chanakya Pandit says, don't go to a place where there's not a pious king, a flowing river, a good doctor, or don't go to a place where people are inimical towards you. Just don't go. If there's not a good doctor in the land, if you get sick, if there's no water, Brahman needs water, there's no water. If there's not a pious king, Chanakya Pandit says, don't go there. And especially don't go to a place where people hate you. And what is this world? This is a world where people come to forget Krishna, but still he comes. He's so kind. And they attack him when he comes. Putana, Trinivarta, Agasura, Shishupal. He has to tolerate all that. Krishna comes. He's so kind. Well, someone can say, he's not here now. He came 5,000 years ago. But yes, we have an open secret. We're making it public now. Krishna Varnan Twisha Krishnam Shangopanga Parshadam Yagnai Sankatan Prayar Yashanti Hishu Medashaha. I used that verse in the beginning. Prabhupada said, if you learn a verse and quote it 7 times, it's yours. That was my 7th time. I memorized it last week. Well, a little longer. But that verse is very important. It talks about we have the Das avatars in India, the Das avatars, yes. Ite Chamsa Kalo Pumsha Krishnashtu Bhagavan Swayam. But Prabhupada said when an instruction is given, or many instructions are given, the last instructions, the most relevant. So all Krishna has come through the eons of time, in various incarnations, so kind to remind his black sheep, his lost children, as to who they are and what is the purpose of life and how to come home, Satya Yuga, Treta Yuga, Dwapara Yuga. He comes again and again and again and again and again and again. But he's Tri Yuga avatar. He just comes in 3 ages. It doesn't mention Kali Yuga because Kali Yuga is so bad, no one's going to listen to him. So he tricks us. He doesn't come as God. He comes as a devotee. And he's so amazing, we want to follow him. And suddenly he reveals he's not Nimai Pandit in the house of Srivas Thakur. He's the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and he's come to give us the means to go home. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare. And that's our saving grace. That is how we get out of the prison of Mitra. Not an elaborate plan, just like your friend, make an elaborate plan to get out of a prison. He's so kind to the people of Kali Yuga. He makes it so simple. How to get out of the prison house. Just chant these 3 words, Hare Krishna and Ram. Just chant them. And follow some regulative principles. Become civilized. Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur said one time in an initiation in 1934, it was in the Harmonist, I see no reason why all my disciples cannot go back to Godhead in one lifetime if they take this chanting of Hare Krishna seriously. And Srila Rupa Goswami has a beautiful prayer in Padyavali. Dinabandhu riti namate smaran Yadavendra petitoham utsahe bhakta vatsalaya tvaye shrute mamakam hridayam ashu kampate. O Lord Yadavendra, I am fallen. But when I remember your name, Dinabandhu, the friend of the fallen, I become encouraged. And when I hear that you love your devotees, my heart trembles. Let's recite that one more. It's so nice. O Lord Yadavendra, I am fallen. When I remember your name, Dinabandhu, the friend of the fallen, I become encouraged. And when I hear that you love your devotees, my heart trembles. So it's not difficult. Let's not make it difficult for Krishna to deliver us. We've come to this process. Let's not deviate. Let's not submit to our material desires. Let's not speculate. Make it easy for the Lord to deliver us. Don't fight it. When I was young, I was trained as a lifeguard. I lived in California. And I would spend some of my summers as a young man on the beach as a lifeguard. It was good money, you get a good tan. But sometimes you had to save people. Literally, people who were literally drowning. And they taught us in the lifeguard schooling that it's kind of dangerous because when someone's drowning, they're panicking. And if you come up to them directly, they'll jump on you and they'll move so much they may drown you too. There's cases where lifeguards are drowned because the people are so panicking. So what you do is a person's drowning, we learn this technique, you swim around them. You go to the back of them and you grab them from the back, or like this, and you pull them like this backwards. Their head's there, their body is there. So you put your arm over them, under their arm, and then you do a side kick and you bring them back to the shore. So I was thinking that of analogy because spiritual masters, he's here to deliver us. He's Krishna's representative. And if we're not strict in our devotional lives, if we're not following the principles, if we're not chanting our rounds, if we're not studying scripture, if we're not associating with wonderful, beautiful devotees, if we're not serving the Sankirtan mission of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, that's the essence, to share our good fortune with others, then all these things together, it makes it difficult for the spiritual master to deliver us. So he wants to deliver us. Prabhupada wanted us to preach Krishna consciousness in every corner of the world, but he wanted each and every one of us to become a pure devotee as well. One time, one of my godbrothers said to Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada, I want to distribute your books life after life. Now that's the proper sentiment of a disciple, to give his life or his lives to a spiritual master. But Prabhupada said something very interesting. He said, no. He said, I've come here to deliver you. I want to take you back to Godhead. Kali Yuga is going to get worse and worse and worse. Finish up your business in this lifetime and go back home, back to Godhead. So in my mind, very often, one of my heroes is Narottam Das Thakur. Narottam, Srinivas, and Shyamananda. They were the original second generation. We're proud of our second generation in ISKCON. They were the real second generation. After Mahaprabhu and Panchatattva left, they took up the mantle. And you can read, my god sister Sitala Dasi, she's written a beautiful book on Narottam Das Thakur. You have to get it. She spent years researching. It's such a wonderful book. I've read it 3 times. Sitala. She's the wife of Harishori Prabhu. They live in Mayapur. So Narottam Das Thakur, he went through so much difficulty in spreading the holy name. But when you read his poetry, you can see he's a deep devotee. He's a rasik bhakta. He's a lover of Radhe Shyam. So for me, he's like one of my heroes. He's a powerful preacher, but he took the time to go. Of course, he's a liberated soul, but I'm saying that he was also cultivating his inner spirit and coming closer to Braj, coming closer to Vrindavan, coming closer to the service of Radha and Krishna. So we have to balance our lives in these ways. We have our sadhana and our preaching to balance them so that we become mature devotees and please Prabhupada by going back home, back to Godhead. So we should set time aside every day and chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare. To get that ultimate goal, Prem Bhakti. Prabhupada gave a little indication one time. Disciples said, Srila Prabhupada, what is the meaning of the Maha Mantra? It was like, Prabhupada was asked that question 1,000,000 times. And he often said, the meaning of this mantra is, my dear Lord, my dear energy of the Lord, Ladini Shakti, Shrimati Radharani, please pick me up from this world of birth and death and let me serve you in the spiritual world. But on this occasion, Prabhupada said, what is the meaning of this Maha Mantra? It means, my friend, my friend, my friend. So I thought Prabhupada was so kind that we can address Krishna as a friend. We're just infants in spiritual life. We're little toddlers. But I was thinking, I'm not a cowherd boy, but I thought of it in terms of a friend in need is a friend indeed. So we can call upon Krishna, my friend, you're my ultimate friend. Please deliver me from this ocean of material existence and give me the privilege of going out and preaching and bringing many people back home, back to Godhead with you. So as Prabhupada said, we will have our ISKCON in the spiritual world. It should be a big family. It should be the whole planet Earth, the whole 14 worlds. Because Prabhupada said, we'll have our ISKCON in the spiritual world. And he told Dhananjaya, my godbrother, he just told me recently, Prabhupada said, when we get back to the spiritual world, we'll all recognize each other. Oh, there's Mahamantra Das. Wow. I haven't seen him in many years. When I get back to Godhead, hey, you made it home before me. He'll be there to greet us. So, like that, this is our future. Prabhupada says, faith means to put your trust in something sublime. So after a humble lecture like this, please don't put your faith in the material nature and the persons who worship the material nature and believe that this is the sum total of life to enjoy here. Put your faith in Srila Prabhupada, our previous acharyas, in the process of Krishna. Put your faith in something sublime, and your future will be very bright. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki, Shri Brajabhumi Shri Vrindavan Dhama ki. And before I finish, I'd like to leave you with a thought, just a small proposition. It's kind of hard for me to present it because I'm the author. But there's a new book out. It's called The Sacred Forests of Vrindavan. Yeah. And the subtitle is The Western Bank of the Jamuna. And this book came about because, what's that 4-letter word? COVID? That bad word? During the COVID, during the pandemic, I was stuck in Vrindavan. Oh, you can't say that. I had the privilege of being locked down in Vrindavan. And usually I'm, for so many years, 50 years, I was traveling the world. All of a sudden, Radharani slammed the door. I'm in a room, and I can't even go outside because everybody in Vrindavan has COVID. So what am I going to do? So I had this library. I didn't have much time to read it. So I thought, okay, I'm going to read. So I read for 3 years, but we're meant to share. So I thought, what I'll do is I'll just focus on Braj. I'll just focus on Vrindavan, because that's our Param Gatim. So I started giving some lectures on Vrindavan. I thought maybe it'd last a week or two. But my godbrother, Shivaram Goswami Maharaj, in his research, he found a quote, I think, from Garuda Purana. There's 60 billion holy places in Vrindavan. Haribo! So I've been lecturing on Vrindavan for 4 years now, and we have 550 lectures just on Vrindavan. And I give them every Friday. They're uploaded to my YouTube channel, Indradyumna Swami, YouTube channel, every Friday. Different aspects, a holy place, the personalities of Vrindavan, the different moods of Vrindavan. I present it in a very simplistic way. It's quite deep, but I try my best to present it in a simplistic way. Prabhupada said in the Krishna book, towards the introduction, he said, Krishna book's a summary of the 10th canto. So it's quite a deep subject matter. And Prabhupada said, one day, this Krishna book will give solace to my followers who come to the stage of Vipralambha Bhav. So we want to come to that stage gradually, but we know who we are, we know where we're going. What's the impetus for becoming a pure devotee? Krishna, his associates, their apparel, their dress, their paraphernalia, their abode, what they do. So these are the first in the series of lectures. This is a transcription of about 20 or 30 lectures about a certain portion of Vrindavan. We plan to publish one book every year. If there's 500 lectures, maybe there'll be 50 volumes, I don't know. But it's a service that I've done. I take no credit. Dinabandhu Prabhu is my Parikrama Guru. Bhakti Chaitanya Maharaj, Radhanath Swami, Bhakti Vikas Maharaj. These are my senior godbrothers. I would consult with them. Gopi Paranadhana, before he departed this world, another exalted godbrother. I'd consult with the GBC Shastri Committee. Everything's verified, but there's many pastimes you haven't heard because they're deep within our Shastras, in the teachings of the Goswamis, just like when Brihat Bhagavatamrita came out. Gopi Paranadhana and the BBT, they published it. We hear so many pastimes we never heard before. So our acharyas wrote so many books, so we went through these books and we included the pastimes. So this is like a really good parikrama guide. When you go to Braj, they say a saintly person sees through his ears, not through his eyes. So I heard and I just repeated it. So this is the work of many devotees, actually. Perfect guide to Vrindavan. And if you can't go to Vrindavan, it's only 2 hours from here, Vrindavan. You should go every day. You should go. That's my advice. Prabodhana Saraswati says, run to Vrindavan. So when I drive to Vrindavan, we drive 220 kilometers an hour. No, I'm just kidding. So this book's available. We have a little stand over here of books. Yeah. And if you'd like to buy one, because they are expensive. They're like a coffee table deluxe edition, because Vrindavan deserves it. A good presentation. It's 2,500 rupees. I often say it's not $2,500. It's actually priceless, but printing costs make a little profit for publishing the next one. And if you'd like to buy one this morning, we have a little sticker here. And if you do, then write your name here, and I'll sit here, and on behalf of all my godbrothers who helped me compile this book, I'll sign the book, little date, little dedication like that, and you can keep this book. And when you go to Vrindavan, just go to Radhakund and open it up, and read, you'll see like this. And if the place is not in there, the next edition it will be, but so much effort's gone into this book, and rightfully so. And if you can't go to Braj in your home or in your little ashram here, you can read. It'll be just like you're in Vrindavan, because Shravanam Kirtanam brings Krishna Smarnam, Vrindavan Smarnam. Okay, so I'll sit here for a few minutes if you'd like to purchase a book. one of my secretaries, Rasika Siramanish, we were just in South India for 5 weeks. We sold almost 2,000 copies in South India, Dravida Dash. So would you like to say something?
Hare Krishna. As Maharaj announced, we will be selling the books over here. The cost is 2,500 rupees. You can either pay by Google Pay or cash. We request you to form a line over here, come and collect the book, and then you can form a line over there, go and get the book signed by Maharaj, and you can go like this. I'm just saying this so that to form some order. And in the book, there is a small post-it note where you can write your name or whoever name you want Maharaj to write in the book in capital letters. Maharaj will use that to sign. Hare Krishna.
I was there for 5 years. I made this much progress.